Today, we're taking a deep, data-driven look into the political soul of one of Nagaland's most important constituencies, Southern Angami II. We're not just here to look at past results. We're here to understand the story behind the numbers and build a clear, actionable blueprint for what comes next. Let's get right into it.
So, here's our roadmap. We'll start on the ground, getting a feel for the place and its people. Then, we listen to what they're saying, the real voices from the soil. After that, we dive into the numbers to see how the mandate has shifted so dramatically. We'll unpack why it shifted, and then, most critically, we'll lay out a blueprint for governance and chart a clear path forward.
All right, first things first, before we can talk strategy or numbers, we have to understand the place itself. The context here is everything. Picture this. We're in the beautiful hills of Nagaland, the heartland of the Angami Naga community. Now, this isn't just a location on a map. It's a region with incredibly deep cultural roots and, as we're about to see, a population that is anything but silent. They are active, they are engaged, and they show up. And how do they show up? Well, look at this number. In the 2023 elections, voter turnout was around 90%. Think about that for a second. That's not apathy. That is a loud and clear signal that the people here are profoundly invested in their future. They participate, and they expect to be heard. So, when a community is this engaged, what are they talking about? What are the issues that drive nearly everyone to the polling booths? The data gives us a very clear picture. The top concerns are intense. First, a real anxiety about illegal immigration from Assam. This touches on core issues of identity, resources, and security. Second is the daily grinding frustration over the stalled expansion of National Highway 29. Beyond those, you see the worries about the future, a lack of real support for farmers, and, crucially, a growing concern about jobs and opportunities for the youth. These aren't just policy points. They are deeply felt issues that speak to a community's fundamental right to dignity and a secure livelihood. And it's these grievances, this ground reality, that have fueled a political earthquake. The story the numbers tell is nothing short of dramatic. Let's trace how the People's Mandate has completely transformed over the last decade. What we see here is stunning. I mean, look at the speed of this collapse. In 2013, the Naga People's Front, the NPF, was the undisputed force, with over 2/3 of the vote. 5 years later, it craters by 20 points, and by 2023, poof, gone. Not a single candidate on the ballot. This isn't a slow decline. It's a political foundation crumbling in just 2 election cycles.
So where did that massive NPF vote bank go? Well, it didn't just go to one place. It shattered. In 2023, the winner from the BJP alliance squeaked by with less than 37%, and the NCP and JDU candidates were breathing down their neck. Nobody got a clear majority. The mandate is completely fractured, which means the political field is now wide open. And this single number tells you everything about the new reality. The winning margin in 2023 was a razor-thin 2.8%. Elections here aren't won by landslides anymore. They're won house by house, village by village. In a contest this tight, every single vote, every single voice is absolutely critical. So the big question is, what causes a seismic shift like this? The data points away from the popularity of one leader versus another. The real answer is deeper. It's about the collapse of an entire system, the nuts and bolts of political organization. This was the trigger. In 2022, when 21 NPF MLAs defected to the ruling NDPP, it was more than just a headline. It was an organizational earthquake. It didn't just remove leaders. It ripped out the entire party machinery on the ground, the networks, the knowledge, the momentum. It hollowed the party out from the inside. So let's look at the strategic picture right now. On the one hand, the NPF still has powerful strengths. Its history, its deep cultural connection to the Angami people. That's a real asset. But the weaknesses are severe. The ground game is in shambles, there's a vacuum of leadership, and funding is tight. And all of this is happening while facing a massive threat: the well-funded, powerful machinery of the incumbent NDPP-BJP government. And this slide really puts it in black and white. You've got the NPF with a weakened field team and limited resources, struggling to be heard. And on the other side, you have the ruling coalition, a well-oiled machine with all the advantages of incumbency, backed by both the state and central governments. The challenge isn't just to find a new candidate, it's to rebuild an entire system from scratch. But having a clear picture of the challenge is the first step.
And the data doesn't just show us the problem, it also points to a solution, a disciplined, voter-focused blueprint for renewal.
This is what a comeback looks like in practice, a disciplined 90-day plan. It doesn't start with big rallies. It starts 3 months out with the quiet, essential work of rebuilding booth committees. Then, at 60 days, the focus shifts to listening, real door-to-door engagement. At the 30-day mark, you ramp up the local campaign, building momentum from the ground up. Only in the final 10 days do you mobilize for the final push. This is how you systematically rebuild trust.
And for the party leadership and any future candidate, the to-do list is clear and non-negotiable. 1. You must personally and credibly address the top 3 voter grievances: roads, farming, immigration. 2. You have to do the hard internal work of rebuilding networks and uniting local leaders. 3. You need a news story that respects tradition while offering a real, tangible vision for development. And 4. Re-engage directly with the bedrock institutions of the community.
Of course, in this day and age, a ground game needs a smart digital game. This means creating trusted local WhatsApp groups to share good information and counter rumors. It means using platforms like Instagram to connect with younger voters on their terms. It also means setting up a fact-checking team to keep the conversation honest. Now, it's absolutely vital that all of this is done with the highest respect for people's privacy and consent, in line with our legal frameworks, ensuring that communication is a tool for empowerment, not intrusion.
So, who's the right person to lead this kind of effort? The analysis points to a very specific kind of leader, someone who is seen as a true community insider, deeply respected and trusted. But at the same time, they need the vision and pragmatism of a modernist reformer, someone who can bridge the gap between tradition and progress.
And this brings us to the end game. The path forward for Southern Angami I is at a crucial turning point. The next set of choices will define its future.
Ultimately, all of this data boils down to one simple, powerful question. In a political world this competitive, this fractured, can you win on history alone? Or does victory now demand a rebuild organization, a fresh vision, and most importantly, a genuine, heartfelt response to the real needs of the people?
Because in the end, that's what this is all about. The numbers, the charts, the strategies, they all point to one thing. The real opportunity here is not just to win an election. It's to transform this data into real development, to turn a fractured mandate into a united mission of public service for every single person who calls this place home. If you want to become a people-centric leader and uplift your constituency, get in touch with Blueprint Strategies AI at mgr@blueprintstrategies.ai or call 080-420-41602. Purpose beyond politics.